shit.
Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jordan Taylor. This is a special edition of Under the Lights. We are broadcasting live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana on a rainy Friday afternoon. Excited to talk a little ball this evening with a football coach that's going to sit down and talk about his life. It's not every day that you get to talk to a good friend and just come sit in studio, and I think everyone has a story to tell, and I'm grateful that he's given me the opportunity to give him this platform to tell his story this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So kick back, enjoy the show. If you have not hit the like and share, go ahead and do that now. Let's get the word out that Coach Terrence T-Spoon, the baby doctor, is in studio.
Live in action.
First off, you walked in here and you said, wow.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. For one, I've been knowing Mr. Gary since I played football at Port Barry, so to see this, I didn't know he had this in his realm. You know, to see it live in person is a lot different. But it's a nice place. Appreciate what y'all got going on for high school football here in Louisiana, and excited to be here, man.
It's been a long journey since we've gotten to this point of you sitting down with me today, hasn't it been?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had the opportunity to see you start this stuff up while I was in training and everything else, man, and to see what you're doing with it now, it's just amazing, man. Hear a lot from people in the community, not just in Eunice, about y'all organization and how y'all go to the different games, and people like having y'all there, man, so keep it up.
Man, from the streets of Port Barry to the streets of Eunice, this is going to be a long story, isn't it?
Just about. It got major parts in each section of that, but we'll chop it down. I ain't gonna keep people here all night.
Hey, we here for your story. We want to tell everyone that's listening of how you got to where you are today, because I heard it before, and I'm sure you've told it many times, but there's gonna be a lot of people that will watch here this evening that have not heard or may not know who you are. But this is a special night, because that often you can deliver a baby in the morning and coach a high school football game that night.
Yeah. I usually get lucky, so most times I take off a call, let somebody else get it for the Friday night games. But today would have been a lot different had we had a game tonight. You know,
hey,
been up since 3 this morning.
There you go. Hey, something has drawn you back to those Friday night lights. You played back in the day, and I'm sure it's pulled on your heartstrings for a long time to want to get back to those sidelines.
Absolutely. Well, for me, you know, growing up in Port Barry, as you know, you get exposed to football at an early age, flea fly, kindergarten, you know, kids with helmets, you tackling them, and we had youth football then, so you was always exposed to it. And then around the time we was there, Port Barry was top of the line football team, so everybody wanted to be a Red Devil, everybody wanted to play football, so you had guys you looked up to, and I developed a love for the game. Even throughout school, man, you can't unglue me from the TV Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday now. So it was an opportunity that was not really presented. You know, I kind of chased it, pursued it, and shout out to VJ for giving me an opportunity.
Absolutely. And we're going to dive into some Eunice football in a little while, because I hear some good things are going on right now, and I can't wait to pick your brain about what to expect from the Bobcats here in 2025. But let's go back to those Port Barry days, because I'm an alum. You're an alum, so this is a special show for me. Always getting to talk a little bit about our hometown.
Right.
Talk about our home school.
Right.
Talk about, we both played on the same field, so
yeah, absolutely.
It's special. My brother won a state title for the 02 team. My other brother was runner-up in 99. So I'm sure you have stories to say about those days. 99 was tough.
Yeah, 99 was tough. You know, my cousins were the quarterbacks of those teams.
Okay.
So, you know, and I knew a bunch of the guys that was on the state championship team. My other cousin, Marie Saunier, was a linebacker on that 99 team.
Still holds the record.
Still got the record out there in the Superdome. So, you know, that was glory days, man, and never thought I would see, you know, all of that leave. But the guy who's there now working real hard to try to get it back to what it was. Just got to get the kids back committed to it.
So where were you for 99?
Oh, 99, third grade, man. Third grade. I remember Port Barry was a ghost town, bro. It was nobody there. the team passed, everybody was in front, Borks, went to New Orleans, and then everybody else left. I remember all the guys, they had their hair dyed blonde.
Come on.
You know, everybody. And to be there in the stands, I remember crying when they lost, man, because we went down to meet, you know, all your family who played and everybody in that convention room, and seeing those guys go through that, you know, it sat with us hard. Then we had the opportunity to go back, play the same team, and win it. So, you know, man, it was times, bro. It was times.
What can you remember about that 2002 team that really stuck out to you, that were freshmen on that 99 team, that they had a goal to get back, and they did it their senior year?
Man, that whole team was loaded, man. Loaded. Daniel, Marvin, Abdul, Chris Keys, Alex, man. It was so many people, dog. Big pick. They had linemen, you know. So I don't think nobody, that coaching staff, bro. Nobody. I think they blew everybody out in the playoffs except one game. It was unbelievable. Like nobody could have beat them that year. They probably could have beat a 4A team.
And when they did a ranking a while back, that team right there was pretty high on the all-time state championship ranking. So special group it was.
Yeah. Two of them got to go to the NFL, get an opportunity. So, man, I don't know.
So you listed out quite a few players just now. In your opinion, who's the best player to ever come out of Fort Barry?
That I've seen?
That you've seen.
Personally. That's tough, boy. Man, that's tough. Offense, defense, overall.
Just give me an overall player, somebody that you still look back on this day and say, man, what a player.
Between 12, boy. Henderson was nice too. Henderson, Keys, Daniel Francis, Marvin. That's my three. I can't pick out of those three. You know, just stellar on offense and defense. So, yeah, man, there's some dudes. I can't pick one. I'm gonna make somebody mad, bro. You know, I might get a text from my cousin saying, "Hey, boy," you know.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah.
So when you got into high school, I'm sure the vibe was still strong that, hey, we can get to the dome. They did it twice already. I'm sure when y'all got to high school, it was like, it's our turn to go.
Absolutely, and I felt that way. I can't mention the guys I felt that were, you know, real good on our team. Dexter Bose, Chaz Pignew took a bad ACL injury. You know, had those guys not got hurt in the playoffs, I think we could have made a run then. We went 8-2. I don't know if y'all. I think y'all went 8-2 after us or something, because y'all went play Newman like us. But had we not had some injuries, Caleb Duplichan, man, I think we would have pushed a little further in the playoffs. Yeah, I had the little Odell. Y'all got the big Odell.
That's right.
Right. But man, the mojo was there. Everything was there. Coach Penrose had left my freshman year, and Coach Mack took over. But everybody was still committed to Red Devil football, and everybody believed they could be the next one. So, as long as they find that back there, find their way back.
So when you got to the high school ranks and you've seen some great coaches come and go from that program, some are in the some are in the Hall of Fame now, some have passed and gone. But in your time, your 4 years in the high school, multi-sport athlete sitting with us, the best coach on campus when you played back then?
Best coach on campus, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna give it to Charlie V, Coach V Dream.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Buddha. I know you was big time. You played a big role in that too. And Coach Andy, that was for basketball, but football wise, Charlie V. You know, at first I had to make him believe in me. You know, and after that, man, his belief in me is what kept me going throughout that whole season. And even when we got in those tough games, and he messaged me on Facebook a while back, said how proud he was of me and stuff, and you know, keep up the good work.
Shout out Coach V.
Yeah, Coach Charlie V, man.
Absolutely. Spoon, not everyone makes it out of Fort Barry. You know this. I know this. And we talking to you today, and it's become an incredible journey, and the person you've become is incredible. Spoon, how did you defy the odds and show everyone that you can get out? You make a lot of people proud.
You know, a lot of people, once they get to this certain point in life, they like to say, that was all me. Really wasn't, man. I can't do that. Discredit the people who helped me get here. You know, my stepdad left out the house my junior high year, transitioning to high school. You get exposed to stuff in your neighborhood, and that's what you want to do. A lot of us see things that happen around us, and that's what we tend to want to pursue because that's all our reality is at that point. But I had people in my back, man, had my back, knew my grades. I always had like a 4.0. They always pushed me to stay in school, get around friends. Rest in peace to my boy Herm. Me and that guy were real close. We went places, got in fights with different schools, got in a whole lot of trouble one time, man. And, that moment right there kind of set it for me. I could have threw everything away behind it. Nobody cared about the grades at that point. It was what I done was wrong. And I had some people that had my back in that situation and cleared it up. And once you become a senior, you got to decide what you want to do. I quit basketball the year before, thought I was, going to live a street life. And shout out for Coach Amo, who really played a role in gathering me back to everything, man. And that whole senior year, from that summer, changed the trajectory, probably what I was going to pursue down the road, Like I said, I was exposed to some stuff. People in the neighborhood kept me straight. And went to New Orleans, man. I think I needed to go away for a little while. And it worked out.
So when you do talk about the times in high school, back then, Fort Barry OC was a big rivalry.
Oh, man.
It's dead now, though. But was it still going strong when you guys were in school?
Oh, yeah.
Like it was back in the day?
It was. We couldn't go nowhere. We couldn't come to the Pizza Shack. They couldn't be there. We couldn't go to parties. They couldn't be there. It was always outside of the sport, it was something different, as you can imagine, but on the field, that rivalry was still there. That was my favorite game, them in Westminster. I always felt like we went on MySpace at the time, talked some trash, and went from there, But they never beat me, so can't say it.
So you said that's
it wasn't a rivalry for me.
Yeah, you said that was your favorite game. Is there a best game that you remember that you ever played in?
Me, Westminster for sure.
What happened that night?
That night, I think I probably had like 16 tackles playing cornerback. Knocked the guy out the game. Still got it on my highlight. The kids got huddle now. I can't pull no huddle. It's VHS with the flickering on it, man.
That's it?
But that probably was my favorite one. Outside of a touchdown I scored against Sacred Heart. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, growing up, that's all we had was pickup games, going out with friends and stuff, hanging out with the bros, making memories. Growing up, you still talk to a lot of those guys now? Oh,
yeah, man. Like I said, unfortunately, I lost one of my close friends probably 2 years after we finished high school. But everybody else, I text through Facebook, I play Xbox with them, so there's still communication there. Went to Ian Fondo's wedding way in Ohio, and we've been knowing each other since kindergarten. Ike, all those guys I'm still close with.
Fly high, number 3, for sure. Always.
Yeah.
So we did lose a great man that you were under, I was under, and your thoughts of Coach Duke and what he meant to the program.
Yeah. Man, Coach Duke had some run-ins. But he was quick to call my mom on me, man. And I think that worked out for me. He was just looking out. When you look back at it all, didn't get the opportunity to really tell him. Once I seen he had took sick and stuff while I'm away, never got the chance to come back and tell him thank you, how much of a role he played. I still got my graduation picture with him and remember kind of what he told me when he was taking the picture with me, like how proud of me he was and everything else, even though, Coach Duke didn't like hair. I had dreads at the time, man.
Right.
I stayed in that office a lot, but he always looked out. I really appreciate him.
Good.
Yeah.
So there's been talks. I want to hear your thoughts on it, and let's see what you would say about this. In the future, if it does happen, not sure if it will. I don't have no say so in this, but maybe one day the stadium might get named after Donnie Perron, and maybe one day the field might be named after Bill Dupashan. Your thoughts on that?
100%. Nobody else deserved that. What Coach Perron did for Port Barry for those years, if you look at it, man, it's almost similar. I didn't know about all the other schools, kind of like what Coach Troxley had done at Eunice High, and I didn't realize that till I got exposed to them. But if you speak of Port Barry, I was in college, man. You bring up football with people from other communities and other cities, and they knew Perron, and they knew the players who played under Perron. But Coach Duke what he done as far as the school itself. You,
Couldn't
no,
find
no,
him,
yeah, you
couldn't find him nowhere else on
nah,
Friday night than on the side.
nobody else deserved their name on that field outside those two guys.
Good. How about the Ladaba Rouge growing up, man? You was over there with the track meet?
Yes, man. Yes.
I think it ended not long after we would finish up in school because the track just came out of commission by then. But state champs in 07, wasn't there?
Yes, but I didn't run.
Okay.
It used to be a thing they would tell you, you want a ring at Port Barry, you better run track.
Yep.
And I felt I was slow. I was slow early on in the career, man. And you played with your other friends and ran with your other friends, man. You couldn't compete there. Chopper, my older cousins and them you looked up to, but the guys I was around, Dexter, everybody else, man, them guys was fast. So you was like, what I'm gonna go run? I remember in junior high, they had me run the mile, bro. So I'm not going to run the mile for high school. Oh, no. But, you know, I ended up running in my senior year. Coach Heinz came up to me, saw the work I put in over the summer and during football, and he was like, man, come run. And then Dexter hollered at me. I said, man, I'm going to give it a shot. We ended up going to state for the relays. You know, I finally got to make it to state. We ain't placed, but went there, got exposed to it. But, yeah, I wish the parish could come out and do something, you know, for those places that had those tracks early on. I think those track meets did a lot for the schools at the time. A lot of schools went there, man, for those different relays.
Barbara Rouge used to host regionals.
Man, that
it used to be the track meet around
to go at. Yeah.
Great memories.
I know.
I want to ask you this question real quick. Seeing a guy like Keon make it right here locally, I'm sure it brought back hope to yourself and memories from the earlier years at Port Barry, and you can go back and tell your kids now you can make it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, man, it's good to see it's so many people you look back on and knowing they could have also made it to the next level. It's like, well, what was missing for them? You know, I can speak highly on Port Barry. I'm in Eunice now. You hear the stories, you talk to people out in the community, and it's like, well, what was missing for these people who were so good at that level? I think it's easier for the kids to get exposure now. You know, you got all the 7-on-7. You got all these different camps and stuff now. You can take the kids places. I don't think they had that. The huddle, like I said, it was all VHS, so it was more if the kid had the resources to get that. So I think maybe I can't say it was all on coach's fault, but it's a lot of people who I think could have been at that next level and then maybe on the professional level. But to see it happening so often now, especially at OC, got it going on. They got another kid about to go to USC, man. Shout out to them Vikings that I can't stand.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So you did get a chance to go back. And I ain't gonna stay long on Port Barry here, but we're fixing to shift gears and go into your career. But two more for you here. Going back to where it all started, you got to speak for the Black History Month program at Port Barry. Tell me how that felt to go back home.
It was like it needed to happen for me, man. That's where everything started for me. Been through so much at that school, and to finish fourth in my class and stuff and go out and do what I did, you know, for kids just in my neighborhood that I grew up in, I felt they needed to see it because I know what's happening there now. Yeah. So to go do it in front of my mom, my family, people who teaching there, who taught me, my coaches, just to get that off my chest was a relief because everybody who really knew me then knew what I've been through because I don't look like nothing I've been through, but they knew what it took for me to get where I was. And so to go give that speech, man, it took a lot of weight off my shoulder. I think I got a burden off my back and kept it moving forward since then. But it needed to happen. Yeah.
Final thing with Port Barry here, because this is where you grew up, this is where you laid your roots. What's the best memories that you had as being a Red Devil?
Football, man. As a freshman, the practices, you know, what was it, the drill, the special teams drill? Man, I can't even call the name. But they'll kick it off to the freshmen, and all the seniors come at you and just pop your helmet off. But football over there, man, it made a hell of a difference for my life, and that's why I'm so committed to being around it. Yeah. I know what it can do.
So we finish up in high school here, and we go on, and now we have some decisions to make. You finish fourth in your class. Was this always the goal in career, or did you have a different plan coming out of high school?
So I have 2 younger sisters. My mom had delivered early, like in the late 90s. My first sister, I was there, and I remember they kicked me out the room, man. I was crying, and the doctor walked out. He was like, "I knew you was gonna cause that much of a commotion. I'd have let you do it." So I was like, "Oh, I want to deliver babies." You ask anybody else around Port Barry, they're gonna tell you I got other reasons. I ain't going there. But once I got exposed to it, they had a program, A Heck of a Summer at OGH, done it. Got exposed to all the different career paths.
So this is right after you graduated?
Well, this is during high school.
Oh, so this is during
This is during high school. So they showed you all the different career paths in the medical field.
Okay.
Got to witness a delivery at that time, so sparked my interest. So at that time, I was like, well, I know I want to be a doctor. So Xavier in New Orleans was #1 for putting African Americans in the medical school. So my cousin had went, but he didn't get to finish. It was right around the time Alex Bing, his brother, got killed in a car wreck.
Yeah.
So, you know, he ain't get to walk or anything, but he still got his degree. So I was like, well, I could go there. But at the time while I was there, it was like I still wanted to play ball because Xavier don't have no football at all.
Right.
But that is what got me there. Then one of my close friends, he was at Port Barry as well, had moved from New Orleans after Katrina. He was going back to New Orleans, and that's where he was going to school. So we ended up becoming roommates, and he took care of me while I was out there.
So when you do get there, was it a difficult road?
Oh yeah, man. First 2 days on campus, you get there. It's a private school.
Okay.
My background, we ain't had much. I had did all the FAFSA and all of that stuff, and once you schedule the classes, they kind of tell you how much you owe. And the first thing they came to us was like, well, you got to pay like $2,000-$3,000 to start. And I was like, well, I ain't got that.
Right.
My uncle there, and I remember my mom spoke with my grandfather, and he went to take out a loan, man, paid it, and just got the ball rolling for me to start college. And then after that, you know, I had to find ways. Found out I could have had a scholarship. You know, I didn't have that guidance before. Like, man, you'd apply way early, you could have probably got a full ride, but end up getting scholarships to help pay for school at the time, and had to take out student loans, of course.
Yeah. So we get through those first 2 days. How long was this process at Xavier? Did you have to switch schools down the road?
No.
It
It was locked in. I wanted to real bad after my first year, just because I wanted to play sports still. So we had intramurals. I would play flag and everything. I had made a little highlight film, tried to send it to Tulane through some comments, tried to send it to Southern through some comments. And I had a bunch of friends that I met from all different parts of the country that, you know, sat down talking to me like, man, you're doing good in school, you know, let's pursue that, you know, you give it up, or you be a coach down the road. And I was like, man, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna be a coach, you know. So end up staying, and that second semester, I ended up meeting, you know, my now wife, who really kept me grounded over there. So a lot of thanks to her while I was there.
And I heard about this story from the last interview you did. So are we back to that being the correct story?
Yeah, I was right. I'm right on that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
She ain't want me. So
she ain't want you?
No, she ain't want me, man.
Okay.
I still had the dreads. I was at the time joining the fraternity. Shout out to the bros. They kept me grounded, and then during that time, like once I crossed over, I guess she saw like other women cheering for me, man. I think that's what done it.
Okay.
And then she pursued after that point. So, you know, she stayed around. We got together and been good since.
So where we at now? How many years?
Oh, we did those. About 15. I think we're going on 15 total. It's about to be 4 years married in August.
Well, congratulations.
With a little one, a second little one on the way.
Congratulations on the little one that's coming soon, and the marriage strong, and I wish y'all many, many more years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we got through Xavier. So
Mm-hmm.
we finish up with Xavier, and I'm sure you have more schooling.
Right,
Am I
absolutely. So you got to decide, well, my grades were good,
Okay.
but, you know, you take like ACT and stuff in high school. Well, you basically take like this form of ACT for medical school called the MCAT. That's where lack of resources really came in, because you get so much information to go take this test, and you're like, man, I don't know how to study for this. Well, other people had money and was fortunate enough to somebody pay for them to go sit in these classes, I ain't have it. So I tried to study on my own, took the test, man, and didn't score too high. So then I was like, well, I got to figure it out. Well, contact some of my frat brothers who knew about this master's program called Med Prep. Went there, got my grounding for this test. So basically it was like nurturing for you to pass this test and obtain a master's at the same time. So I ended up pursuing that. So I'm 2 years there. My wife, she ended up going to teach at Como for a year. Then she went straight to medical school. So she was in Atlanta. So we basically separated at that point. But that's what I ended up doing because the grade was there. It's just I needed some help with that test.
Yeah. So we finish up the test. We're good. What's the next step?
We're good.
How many years?
So
how many years did it take?
A lot of people don't realize there's different levels to learning. Mm-hmm. All in high school, man. I honestly, I ain't trying to be on the camera bragging, but I ain't really pick up a book. Like you'll show it to me one time. Got it. Go take the test. Score A. College, it was like that. You had to put a little bit more work in. Still a lot of rote memorization. I think that's what came and stunned me on that test because at that point it was about applying the material. Or you get this information, how do you apply it, not just memorizing something. So the masters kind of helped me learn how to process the information a lot better and truly understand what someone's trying to teach you. So then I found my foot in there, start shining again. Everything going well. Scored pretty well on the test and decided to stay up there for medical school because at that point I was considered an Illinois resident, so depending on residence, depending on the cost of medical school, so that helped out a lot.
So I'm surprised you didn't turn into a Bear fan while you was out there.
No, couldn't. I'm not a Saints fan either, though.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I have some questions for you.
All right.
I have some questions for you. So we still in Illinois here. When did Illinois finish?
Illinois, so I'm there. I was there 2 years for the masters, 4 years for med school.
So we already 6 years after high school.
We're 6 years after high school.
So we're all in.
All in. It was no turning back at that point. Played intramural football up there, and while up there, my last year of that master's program is kind of where I saw. I always thought it was just medicine for me. What was my purpose out of life? Just pursuing medicine. But they had this upward bound program. So it's at kids to expose them to college and kind of influence them to try to, pursue college further. And dealing with those kids, man, one summer realized like, this part of the calling for me. Seeing people who come from my background or had less, providing resources for them to try to get to where I'm at. So that right there opened up a lot for me. I didn't know how that was going to apply later on for me. Outside of teaching throughout residency and everything else in training, but that opened up some doors.
Okay. When did we finish and find our way to Eunice?
So after those 6 years, finished med school, do 4 years of OBGYN training.
So here we go. We're 10 years deep now.
Yes, 10 years deep outside of Port Barry. So the 6 in Illinois. My wife ended up doing her residency in Mississippi. Come here. Basically, I had to go to Mississippi. I had no other choice. So I went to Mississippi, trained there for 4 years. And then once you finish residency, well, you're looking for a job at that point. Okay. Literally always thought I was going to end up in Opelousas. Big opportunity presented itself down in Eunice and jumped on it and prayed for the best. I left it all to God, man, and so far it's been working out.
Walk me through that first day where you did have your, I don't know if it was an interview meeting with the people at Eunice. Whenever you knew, okay, let's go see if this is my forever. Right.
So I was scheduled for an interview here. While in training, we was away doing a GYN rotation, so a surgical rotation. Okay. And the guy up there was like, "Man, where you want to go practice?" And I told him where I was from, and he was like, "I know this lady. She's from Ville Platte." But Dr. Fort, no, she's not from Ville Platte. She was from Eunice. Okay. And he reached out to her. He knew her. And then she called me, we talked, and she was like, "Well, my CEO looking for another OBGYN." But they scheduled this impromptu interview on a Saturday because in residency, you couldn't really take off. So this Saturday, me and my wife come.
Where were we year-wise?
Mississippi.
No, like what
third year of that training.
Were we post-COVID or we were?
Right after COVID, yeah. COVID
Or
had to end.
Zoom at this point?
Nah, we was back. We was back in person.
Okay.
We was back in person. And I remember getting a text, and it was like, "You don't have to dress up or nothing." Well, every other interview, you see people down to the T-suit and all. And I was like, "What do you mean, don't dress up?" It's like, "Come as you are."
So you came with some
Well, I
boots
just
and
know I
some
came.
tie,
I came with a collar shirt and just some slacks, and we pull up to the hospital, and my wife was like, "Man, they got a sign for you." I was like, "A sign?" And then in front of the hospital, they had this big old sign saying, "Welcome, Dr. Terrence Thompson." I was like, "Whoa."
You have a picture of that still?
I do.
Okay.
And I thought it was just gonna be the CEO and the secretary was Ms. Michelle, it's my girl, and Mr. Kevin Frank at the time. And we walk into this boardroom, man, this big old room full of people at the table, and I'm like, "Well, they told me not to dress up all these people here." And everybody around that table.
You told them you forgot your tie in the car, right?
No, they said I was fine. Man, they had boudin and everything. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so I felt at home.
Yeah.
Everybody around the table went around and said, why they wanted me to be there. Every person had a different answer. Unrealizing the guy who owns the hospital is also at the table with some other important people, and he said what he had to say. Also, basically, it was recruitment for my wife as well, who ended up taking a job in Lake Charles. But, they showed us around, told me what they wanted from me, and they put that paper in front of me. And, you're coming from the projects, you see a couple commas or something, and it's like, yeah.
Where's the pen?
Where the pen? Where the pen? My wife said I couldn't keep a poker face at the time. And they, got some loan repayment and stuff sold into that, and I was like,
I'm sure your grandfather was somebody high on the thing that you want to say thank you for helping me get here.
Well, I ain't had an opportunity. So my third year in medical school, he ended up passing away, and I had to drive down for that. But I always thank him, I always thank him. I had the opportunity when I took the job. My grandmother was in a nursing home. She just recently passed this past November. So every time I visit her, I told her thank you. So that was hard for me because they also played a big role in it all. Kind of stayed with them a few those troubled years in high school, and couldn't be more thankful for what they did for me. Yeah.
I'm sorry for your passing, brother.
Yeah.
So did we sign paper that day, or did it take
a
process?
Nah, I had to play like I was #1 draft pick, man. At that moment, it's like. I was like, well, I went to a place in Mississippi. I was even considering staying there really hard because a few people out there had looked out for me. And then it was, I don't know how much I can say on the camera. I ain't trying, but it became this battle. Yeah, it became this battle like of different areas around, and people calling you. It was like, hey man, we want you here, and I was like, I feel like I'm really getting drafted. This always was a dream for me. But sat back with my wife, we talked about it, what worked best for us at the time, and that I couldn't pass on that opportunity. I really wanted my loans paid. I wanted all my loans paid, and they was the only one who could offer me that. So
in the end, it all worked out.
And in the end, it's working out. It's working out.
Yes. Hey, walk me through a typical work day for yourself, or your typical week. Are you 5-7 days a week here, or hours you start in? Walk me through a typical work day.
So I'm in the rural health clinic. That's to provide access for people who don't routinely get to have access compared to larger cities, Lafayette and everything else. I'm in there Monday through Friday, clinic. I'm really in clinic Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday I'm on call, so I don't do any clinic. I do all my surgeries on Thursdays, and Fridays through the rural health we do a half a day. So I'm done at noon on Fridays. And then one weekend out the month, I'm on call with the other physicians and units.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take me back to that first delivery. First time you had to deliver a baby. Describe that day. Was it a smooth process, little boy, little girl? Was it at Eunice, or did you have to do something in the earlier stages?
So didn't have to. So in that first year of med school, we was assigned like someone to go mentor out in the community. Had to be a physician. And mine just so happened to be an OBGYN. Went before my first exam in med school. He was like, we got a baby to deliver. I went, he just got in my hands. I had shot a little it wasn't Instagram, it was like the little Facebook video then, how excited I was. I probably still have it on my old laptop. just real happy, man. It's probably one of my favorite things to do in this field. You know, help bring that joy to the parents and the family. You know how it feels. You had kids. How everyone feel in the room. That's a big moment for people.
Yeah. So we delivered the baby then. Where we stand now, number of kids delivered.
Man, I'm probably approaching, including residency, probably approaching up to 1,000 mark. Residency where I train, we put work in. If I go pull the numbers, I know for sure because I got in trouble. I didn't log all my cases, so I was at the last minute before graduation trying to put people in there, and I just put the minimum. But I still have cards that I have now that I gotta dispose of eventually. But a lot of babies. Mississippi was popping.
Even this morning.
Even this morning, yeah, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock this morning.
3 o'clock this morning, man. 9 pounds.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Any crazy stories you'd like to share of something unexpected that happened in one of your deliveries?
It's always unexpected. That's the thrill of it. Every delivery is different. As a physician, everybody else in there like, oh, baby about to come. But over time, you kind of train yourself to, early when you're like an intern training, you're happy just like the people in the room. But as you progress through it all, you're starting to process, well, what could go wrong for this patient? How can I prevent this from happening? If this happened, what am I going to do next? All of that is kind of running through your head. But then once everything goes fine, it's like, oh, I get to be happy now. Yeah. Nothing went bad. But when those situations do change, all right, you deal with what you got, and then make sure mom's safe, baby's safe, and enjoy it then. Some of those deliveries aren't fun. I mean, some people have to pass babies that aren't living, and you just help the families get through that stuff. So it's literally, you never know. You never know what you get when you go to those deliveries.
You've had to deal with preemie babies before?
Absolutely. It's to the point where here, when I get people without complications, it's like, something got to be wrong. Because literally in training, everything was wrong with everybody. Preeclampsia, diabetes, babies growing small, babies with anomalies. It was like constantly. My birthday of my last year of residency, I got to deliver a singleton, meaning one baby. Lady had one baby, a set of twins, and a set of triplets one day. So you really never know, man. Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back to the process of when we first started at Eunice. Walk me through how difficult was it to start getting new clients in the beginning and gaining trust, because I'm sure it wasn't easy.
No, it's still not easy. In Eunice, is a total of 4 of us, which is good for the community. Dr. Heinen, Dr. Fontenot, who are people from Eunice, grew up in Eunice. They've been there for quite some time. Dr. Barnes, who does his deliveries out in Jennings. All are great people. So they're walking in a place with people with established practices. Dr. Kokorny right over in Mamou. So everybody's been there. So now you're basically, trying to gather up the people that's left, and reach out to other communities like, hey, I'm here, let them know I'm here. And then that's the biggest struggle. But then you find a niche in it all. Well, what is everybody else not doing? What can I offer the patients? And kind of found it. I'm heavy GYN right now, doing a lot more hysterectomies than, normally a person 2 years out would do. So I'm heavy GYN versus OB, and when you talk to my classmates, they mostly OB versus GYN, and that's usually how it goes. But I had to find a place, man. I had to set on my feet. I do some PRN at Women's and Children to keep, the obstetric skills sharp and deal with all the high-risk stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're in the delivery room, whenever my 2 kids were born, the doctor at that point liked to go in and play a certain music. Is there something that you like to do in the delivery room that's different from others, or is there a certain style of music that you crank up?
No, for the obstetric patients, I leave it for the patient. Because if I play what I want to play, they might not like it. Okay. So, the GYN patients, they're asleep. Even like my assessment nurses in the ASU, some of them probably in the comments, they know I walk into music before I start serving. Duffel bag boy, all kind of stuff. I play all kind of stuff for them, and I think they get a kick out of it. I let them kind of decide in the room, though, because I lock in.
So this is a regular thing?
Oh, this is a regular thing, man. I'm myself wherever I go. I play music. Every part of the hospital, I play a different song. They know when Dr. Spoon coming through.
There you
Yeah.
How about take me back to a day that you can remember throughout this journey that you realize, man, all the hard work was worth it?
I think it hit me. Well, when my mom got to see me match, it kind of hit me then. Like, man, I was just happy to get to residency. That for me, that meant I completed medical school. So I done my part in it all. Then you do the training, and it was like more so for my family, my future family. I've done that part. And you get out and you're doing this, and it's like I'm doing it now. But to me, it was still I had something still itching. Like I ain't felt like I was doing enough. I ain't felt like I was giving the community all that I had. I'm still, people still be coming to know me, figure out who I am as a doctor. But it was just something else. It was something I was like, I'm doing this stuff, delivering babies, doing these surgeries. It's not enough. It's not enough. My wife said I put too much on my plate, and I gobble it up. And that's what kind of. So that whole year, my first year in Eunice, I went to all the football games. If it was a faraway game, I just went to Port Barry. But I kept seeing it, and that's when I was like, man, I want to help. And then
I believe I saw you at some St. Ed's games.
I did. I went to a few St. Ed's games as well.
We were streaming across the pass.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Just saying, set it off and boots on the ground.
It gotta be my friends, bro. That's my friend. I don't play no boots on the ground. Yeah, set it off. I do play set it off. I don't play boots on the ground though.
Correct.
Yeah, that's my frat brother. Real close friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we talked about favorite part of the job is seeing the families.
Absolutely.
At the end of it, okay. And we talked earlier if you ever had to miss a game because you had an unexpected delivery, but I don't think we've had one yet, right?
We haven't had one yet. The other GYNs, we all in communication. I usually put in our little group, hey, anybody can take this call. Usually if it's a home game, I try to slide those 3 hours in, like hopefully they don't call me. A few times on the sideline, I have to step away off the headset, get on the phone, figure out what's going on.
And this is coming from mom? Or this is somebody at the hospital?
This is the hospital. Oh yeah, they calling me while I'm on call. And I'll step away for a while, then I'll come back, and Coach VJ understands.
So we talked about you have not missed a football game because of a delivery.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if it's snowing, you gonna take a trip to the hospital.
I'm gonna get there, man.
We gotta get the story about the snow trip day. Walk us through that morning.
Yes.
I mean, we haven't seen snow like that in I don't know.
I ain't never seen it in Louisiana. I seen it in Illinois. I ain't see it happen in Louisiana. Man, I happened to be on call.
Okay, so on call.
Yeah, it was nobody that needed to be delivered, but it was like 8 women that needed to be rounded on. And a lot of them was for discharge. And so I tried to wait it out. Man, it's snowing heavy. I was like, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to make it there. Waited a little while. I walked outside. I said, well, my truck, I couldn't see the driveway at my house. And I tried to remember the driveway. Man, my truck got stuck. I don't have no 4x4, got stuck. So I said, bruh, how am I going to get there? So I saw my bike. I said, well, I went in the house, put a big old jacket on, all the stuff I had from Illinois. Got on the 4-wheeler, man, got there. When I said freezer, I walked on labor and delivery. My beard, I had icicles on the beard. The nurse was like, Dr. Thompson, look at your beard. It was cold, man. But I sat up there until it chilled out. I went home. It wasn't snowing no more. I wasn't doing that again.
We woke up that morning. We knew we had to get to the hospital. We just didn't know how we was going to get there.
We didn't know how we was going to get there. I thought I was going to get there in my truck, but I need to invest in them side-by-side that's enclosed in case this happen again.
If anybody wants to
contribute to that, don't make me a side-by-side, please.
Side-by-side for the next snowstorm. So we finished that the snow trip. What a big story that came out to be.
Yeah, it kind of blew up more than expected.
It blew up quick, man. Everybody knows about that snow trip day. Only you.
Yeah, that's just who I am, man. Anything for those patients. Anything for those patients. I knew they wanted to be home. I had to get them home. Now, I was telling them, I was like, how y'all gonna get home? They was like, we're gonna get home. And I remember a bunch of those husbands pulling up in trucks about 3 times the size of mine and getting them out of there, man. So they went home. I had to wait, though.
What a story.
Yeah, it was fun, though. Anything for those patients.
There you go. So we are expanding, aren't we?
We are expanding.
We're going to Arroyos.
Yes. So I was doing a satellite clinic. So those Wednesdays, I'm still in clinic, but I was going to Ville Platte, rotating.
Did you ever stop working?
Nah, not if you ask people. They ask me how I do it, but I don't see this working. You know, I just make sure I stay close to God first. Make sure my wife and my daughter taken care of. Then I is OB, and then I took on this extra role, but they give me some leeway with the green. But nah, I go to Arroyos every other week. I still go to Ville Platte at least once a month now, and open Wednesday in Eunice. That might change soon, so another location.
So I do have Eunice football coming up next for you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask a few more referring to your personal life.
Right.
First off, new baby on the way.
New baby on the way.
And anybody that would ask would probably be thinking the same thing I would. Wouldn't you just deliver your own baby in there? Or
I mean, it was always told to
I'm
me.
saying, like, why is that not a thing?
It was always told to me you couldn't do it, so I was like, well, I can't do it.
Okay,
so then you hear, you hear stories of other people doing it, and it's like, well, I can't. But doing is all. There's so much emotion involved, man. If
Correct.
something went wrong, I honestly think because it's your person on the table, your child, can really cloud your judgment. And you know, insurance will be like, oh, why were you delivering your own kid anyway? So we're not doing that.
So it's not against the rules?
I don't know. I would really have to look at it. It was just always told to me we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think a hospital would want you to do that.
And it's such an emotional time that there's nowhere else you would rather be than right on side.
Right. My wife needed me. The first baby, I kind of kept peeking over the curtain. She had to have a C-section, and you know, that was my bosses at the time. So they're like, "Dude, sit down. Your dad." And, you know, just watching her and seeing how she reacted once she heard Cameron cry and stuff was a lot different than being on the other side of the table.
Yeah. Well, good luck in the near future. Can't wait to see some photos.
Yeah, man. July 10th. Fingers crossed.
There you go. Let's go to, I saw something earlier today. Would you like to share a Central Arkansas story with us?
That guy, during he had played at OC back in high school, so he knew what it was then. But now me and him real cool, and I went meet some fraternity brothers there. And I think he was playing at Nichols at the time or something, and we crossed paths and had a good time out there, man. That was it. Just seeing a guy I grew up with randomly in Arkansas and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then we go into some more questions here for you before we jump into Eunice football. How about the message to the younger generation who may want to follow in your footsteps? What would you tell them?
And just let somebody guide you. A lot of the young kids that I'm learning, you know, they got this chip on their shoulder like, you don't know. Yeah, we know, man. I ain't been all the way through life like your parents, but, you know, I've made it this far. I can guide you to do something. So just use the resources available to you. There's people that care about you. Recognize those people. Stay close to them, and I'm sure they're going to take care of you. I see so much now. It's like, you know, other people involved. It may not be your parents. It could literally be someone else's family that look out for you. You just stay close to those people who really care about you.
Speaking of family, the support that you've been given over the years, what's that meant to you?
Everything. My mama was my biggest cheerleader. When I first started, my mama was going to other hospitals, man, handing out my cards in the hospital. I had people asking like, this lady was passing out your card at this hospital. I said, that's my mama. She's just always been happy for me, man. I'm just happy to make her proud of me. She's done a lot for us, a lot. So, biggest cheerleader, but everybody in my family, not just family, people I crossed paths with throughout college, frat brothers, my wife's family, friends that you meet along the way, man. That's how I know staying close to people who care about you really take you far. But yeah, you got to recognize those people early. If you identify early, it could really change your life.
In your opinion, who's helped you the most along the way?
Mama, wife, and everybody else. Mama, wife, I can't. Stepdad, he he was very hard on me growing up. Like I said, he left around junior high time. We rebonded since I moved back like a lot. My father-in-law, they play a big role in it. But my mom, my wife. He talking about my mom. They like my mama too. Wife, stepdad, and my father-in-law play a big role in my life right now.
How about the most challenging thing that was thrown your way that you had to overcome?
Absolutely. So those exams seem to be the bane of my existence. I attribute it to where we are in this area, Louisiana, at the literature level, reading and understanding. I got the knowledge, I always did, but I've done well on them throughout. Once I got past that MCAT hump, all the step exams until the one in residency. That one I ain't really prepared for. Went in, took it, had to take it a few times, got certified, boom. And you apply to take another exam as an OBGYN, pass that one, boom. Well, then you got to go in front of these people to take another exam. So they sit you down like this, then drill you with questions about your patients and this and that, and fell a few points short of that this past November. So most people wait 2 years. I tried to get it done in 1 year. Got to go back again this fall. So that's my hurdle, and I share that to let everybody else know. What you see, other people still face a lot of hardships. Just because I'm smiling every day, I'm still battling some things. So once I cross that, is up though.
Stay strong, my brother.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brandon says the Xbox friends too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But man, I met these guys probably my junior year in college, man, and we played Madden every year, Call of Duty. Hadn't met him. I met him through the guy Howard that's in the comments, who was my frat brother, and they've been the closest friends, man. Just met guys that I ain't know through a video game, and they've been there for me. Literally studying while playing the game, they on there laughing and clowning, but they was always there.
Drew Johnson says Peaches from Mario, according to your daughter.
That's my daughter's song, man. We sing Peaches every day.
Kirk says, what's up, T?
What's up, Kirk?
Let's see. Miss Gwen showing some love.
That's my mom.
There you go. Courtney Vidrines, Dr. Coach T-Spoon.
That's my dog. She's one of the nurses.
Coach Stafford's in the chat.
Stafford, man. So, you meet people in high school, and he wasn't even my coach, but anytime I ran into him, whether it was basketball, football, we always had conversations. His son, there was the time Coach Davis was also there, and he always, encouraged me to keep pursuing things, man. So I really respect him a lot.
Low Jones is showing some love.
Tell him what's happening. That's my auntie.
Mitchell Castillo is showing some love.
All right, one of the guys I work with.
I don't want to even attempt the name, but Thomas.
Fidela Fay, that's Miss Roxanne. Shout out. That's some of my players right there. Ladarius cousin.
Mark.
Yeah, that's a player. Not a fan.
Jonathan Lede.
That's a new close friend, man. New close friend. And I actually coach his son.
LaQuinton Lamb,
Coach Lamb, yeah. Shout out to Coach Lamb. Cool dude, man. Another close friend. You meet people throughout all of this stuff.
And Miss Chambers says your siblings too.
Yeah, that's my little sisters. I went to college for them to show them they could do better than what we're seeing in the SP.
Most rewarding part about this journey?
I don't know yet. I still don't feel satisfied in it all. Like I said, the college was basically to show my little sisters, who I saw was having some troubles once I left, that they could do something else more than what we seen and was exposed to in our household and in the neighborhood. The med school journey, that was for my mom, how I attribute it, mom, grandparents, and then the residency, solidified it for the family. I think I still need to find that one thing that, for me personally, that says, you've done it.
What ruins your weekend more, a Eunice loss or a Ravens loss?
I was getting them at the same time, man. It was a bad football season for me. I'm not a big Saints fan, but I would root for them on the Sundays too. But when 5 of your teams lose, it's never a good weekend, man. You know, it started the Friday, and we had a tough season last year. So it was a lot of weekends that started off rough.
We're fixing to talk some Eunice football with you. In your opinion, what is Eunice football in your opinion?
Eunice football, if I could put it in one word right now, what I'm seeing from the kids would be tenacity, tenacious team, man. Those kids went through a lot last year. Definitely met a bunch of adversity, bunch of close games, and you know, to see a bunch of those guys who played last year come back and want to do it all over again makes a hell of a difference.
Can't wait to talk with you in a second. If anybody has a question for Coach Spoon here, or any baby questions for Dr. Spoon here, feel free to ask in the chat. Zeke Thomas is in the chat, and Felicia Sonia.
Shout out Zeke.
Is in the chat.
Shout out Aunt Phyllis.
We're so proud of you, nephew, Uncle Gabriel, and Aunt Felicia.
Shout out Uncle Gabe. Uncle Gabe used to be the principal at Port Bear Elementary.
It is.
Yeah, he wasn't famous, boy, to me. He was on Ellen, I believe, you know, from janitor to principal. So
I love it. So we had to find our way to Eunice High School football somehow. So when did that day, and I wrote this down, and I don't want to get it wrong, okay? When did coaching football register and become a reality?
So
for you,
sitting in the stands that first year I was in practice, man, because I would go home, you know, spend time with my daughter and stuff, hop on the game, go to those games on the Fridays. There's a lady, Miss McKenzie, she really, like, when I arrived at Eunice, gave me like the Bobcat shirt and everything. She went to school there. I had got a Blue Jay shirt and stuff. Went to the different games throughout the season, and watched how Eunice played. I had tickets to that game, so went there a lot more often. And then at a party, well, for me, it was like, man, I want to help coach football. And I kept telling people, you know, I even can't. I went home, man. I went home. Yeah, I went home. I tried to go home first, you know, just to be around, get a feel for it. But I felt like I would have been a disservice to the kids. You know, I'm 25 minutes away to make it on practice to truly be that for you. Would have been a disservice to them. So I was like, well, maybe Eunice will let me come help coach. I throw this Christmas party every year for the people that I work with at the hospital. And one of the girls, Coach VJ, so happened to be there. And they introduced me, and they was like, oh, this is one of the coaches from Eunice. Unrealizing he's the head coach. And I was talking, and I was just like, hey, man, I want to help coach the school. And he was like, you know, he kind of looked at me and was like, you a doctor, like, you ain't going to come help coach or whatever. And I kept, you know, telling them, letting them know. And he was like, all right, I'll let you coach. I think, let me figure out, you know, how many guys leaving and stuff. And at the time, a couple of coaches were going to take head coaching jobs, which speaks a lot for that program over there. And so spring football rolls around, and I'm itching. I'm like, man, I know football about to start. Like, I ain't hit nothing back. So I text him, hit him up again. I had to tell the people he knew, hey, tell him I'm for real. So it's like, man, we practice this day, whatever. And I would go after work, man. Like, I had my clinic built to where, all right, I know I can see all these people that need to see me today, and then make it to practice. So I would show up out there, and I don't think Coach VJ had told everybody. He had told, you know, me that I was going to be helping. And I show up there in scrubs, and everybody, all the coaches just looking like, who this dude is, you know? Like yeah. They was like, who this guy is, man. And, you know, after a few weeks go by, shout out to Coach Guidry. He was the first one to really come holler at me, talk, break the ice a little bit. And they was like, well, you come and help? I was like, yeah, man, VJ told me I can come help. So then he finally broke it to everybody at one of the practices, like, you know, we're going to have Coach Spoon come help coach receivers. Man, I ain't never played receiver in my life. And I knew Eunice just run the ball, so I used it as a year of learning for me, learning the kids, seeing which kids I, you know, could get into contact with, and, you know, develop relationships. And it went from there, man. You know, then you start building relationships with the other coaches, Coach Training, Stewart, man, Dez, those my guys, man.
Seems like the coaching staff there's a brotherhood over there. It's a hard working group, isn't it?
Yeah, well, most of them, they all went to Eunice, man. That's different for me. I guess everybody went to Port Barry, and some people transplanted in, but outside of Coach Guidry, everyone else went to Eunice, played ball at Eunice, and Coach Trott's still around. So he was the head coach the previous years before that. 2 of his sons on the staff, and getting the experience and learning under somebody who was doing what Coach Perrin was doing at the same time. Was like, man, I ain't know all of that was happening in Eunice, because I played at the same time as Darryl Simon, who they had end up going to the league and stuff, but you didn't realize that. Stuart Turner went played at Ole Miss baseball and then went to the MLB. You didn't hear that. You just heard what was happening in Port Barry, and then you hear what happened at the other schools, like OHS, Northwest. They had people. I don't know how those people, got left behind like that. But all of those guys were from there. You could tell they were focused on the program, really cared about the program. But we were young. Seniors didn't show up for workouts that summer, but that sets up for what we went through.
Yeah. How about your relationship with Coach Trosclair, and what does it mean to still see him out there?
And so, man, the first year I didn't want to step on toes. Like, I was filling it out, not trying to give too much input, just seeing kind of where they needed me. I didn't want to overdo it, Still was figuring it out, because we just had started running wing T at Port Barry. It was big I formation. And Eunice kind of built on the wing T, and now I'm on the offensive side. So they kind of try to follow Trenton around and say, hey, man, let me help with the DBs. I played this. I understand the game from that aspect. So I didn't really get to interact with Coach Trosh last year as much, but this year we definitely interacted. We both the DBs coach, so learning from him a lot. But I just stayed in my lane, not try to interfere as much.
Right. The relationship with Coach Paul, Trosclair, and what he's meant to that program, and I'm sure it's still, after him stepping down for his health reasons, I'm sure it's doing great things for all those kids in that locker room to still see him around the program.
Oh man, it's impressive, man. Just to hear his side of the story of it all, and seeing him out there in the heat, man. He'll go get his treatment and stuff, and still show up for the kids. And, it's hard to tell someone, or get that for the kids to understand. Like, he's going through a lot, and he's still coming out here for you all. And just to do that's a lot, man. Shout out to Coach Trosh.
Absolutely. So, 2018, Coach Trosclair and the Bobcats win the state title. Where were you? I mean, that was one of the best games I ever watched in the Dome. Were you all still doing all this?
I was in training. Yeah, I was in training.
Did you hear about it?
I heard about it. You would always hear Eunice was always a powerhouse growing up, but I didn't know they were like that. Then you hear they won it, and to go and implant yourself in that city, and how people still have all the emotions from that time is like, there's still belief there. It's a lot of belief there. Getting the kids to try to understand, like, you may not like how certain things run, but some things have been proven, and you just got to fall in. And believe, because it happened before. It could easily happen again, as long as you're dedicated to the work.
This community on a Friday night, Paul Trosclair Stadium is special, isn't it?
Man, they be packing the stand, man. I ain't seen nothing like it. The first couple the little band be playing, I be hyped. They got videos of me on the sideline, bobbing my head. Even when we were losing, man, the community was still coming out, showing love for all the kids, everybody around. I wish we could have gave them a much better season, and I think we're going to get that to them this year.
After that water bath you took last season, did it feel like that was the moment where you felt accepted, or like you could be a Bobcat forever?
Oh, yeah. That moment right there, because it kind of happened from kids I was kind of struggling connecting with. It came from them. And then at that moment, it was like, oh, man, I'm one of them now, I had to really paint over the red a little bit more, put the fur on. But at that moment, I knew I had to connect it with the kids for sure. And that was my goal. The whole reason I'm out there, show them a different way. Show them that life is much bigger than what they see every day on the daily life. And that they can be so much more as long as they put their mind to it. And my goal is to have a plan. They all should have a plan. I just told the DBs the other day, they should have a plan of what they want to do. If this don't work out for you, what you gonna do? What's your plan? We gotta develop something. We're out there to develop men, not just to train them for football. At the end of the day, these kids gonna be the ones taking care of us once we get older. So, we want to make sure you're putting the right people out there with goals in mind.
Your thoughts on this year's team? You got a lot of experience coming back.
A lot of experience, man. I'm excited.
When we talked earlier in the week, it was like, hey, they took their licks last year. Now they come and get some of their licks back.
We're going to get our lick back. Coach VJ a little bit more conservative in these interviews. We're going to get our lick back. That's my goal. Coach Trenton, we're doing a lot of work, man. He's doing a lot for our defense right now. Coach VJ locking in on offense, and everyone's committed. The kids, that's the biggest difference that I see. They truly invested this year. They know what they went through.
So let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
So you call this a year of unfinished business, not the standard we're used to seeing. Are there a lot of people pissed off in that locker room?
Yeah, well, it was hard to recognize at times. We had injuries, critical injuries in important games. And I think if some of those kids wouldn't have got injured, probably would have won those games. But at the end, that last game in Lake Charles, you saw the kids that was coming back. They looked different. They had I can't wait till next year. Mm-hmm. Even throughout that off season, man, I watched some of these kids go do 7-on-7, do extra training and stuff. And I still text them. They'll send me videos and clips of them, and I'm like, okay. The work they putting in the weight room right now is a lot different from what I seen when I inserted myself last year. A lot of them are very goal driven at this point, and it's usually about the time a lot of the sophomores, juniors, and the seniors that's going to be leaving out this year really locked in.
Your mindset on a Friday or a Thursday, because you play some Thursday games.
Mm-hmm.
Your mindset on a Friday or a Thursday, you got to deliver that day. How does the hospital and football field continue to get your absolute best every day?
Hospital priority, one. I never go in there lacking. I can't do that because that's liability, So I'm always 100% there, and there's no question I'm 100% when it's time to prepare for the game. They can tell you once I know my day over at the hospital, I've done my job. And if I know I'm off, I'm not on call, I'm 100% Coach Spoon. Don't call me about nothing for the hospital. I answer the patients when they call, but I'm all the way locked in. I was bringing out the speaker off the bus last year, trying to introduce something for the kids. I think they took that away this year, but we focus, highly focused.
Okay. As a football coach who goes and enjoy the Dome games, the state championship, it had to be a cool experience last year seeing the 337 ball and bring back 3 titles.
Man, that was crazy, bro. And to see it in person, I was so excited in there. I was like a big fan. I mean, that's just my love for the game. Me and Jonathan, they went together, and a few of our coaches were there. And just to watch the game and these kids from this area, Cecilia, man, that was a good little game right there. That was a good game. Glad I didn't go back that Saturday for what Edna Carr did to Alexandria, but to be there, I watched that one live, but the other two I was there. Or the other 2 days I was there, and it was an experience, man. A lot different from when because how they separated everything now with the select and non-select. So it's great battles at that point. Not too many blowouts happen, I don't think.
That's some great games in that Friday slot.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we had 3 games decided by 3 points each.
Oh yeah, we had one decided right in front of us, on the red zone. And to see that kid, I think it was Cadlick, Norbert bat the ball down.
The game-sealing interception.
Yeah.
I had that video up close.
Man,
that thing went.
Yeah, that little kid. I feel like I was him by how I was celebrating the stand.
Just got an LSU offer.
Wow.
Big things are ahead.
That's crazy.
Spoon, you said this. You said just trying to put these young men in position to win at life. Talk to me more about that.
Yeah. So I remember vividly, man. We was at practice. Marvin came to practice. This is the time Marvin White was playing for the Bengals. And to have somebody who went somewhere just come back and show themselves, it meant a lot to me. I can't speak for everyone else. I felt like it impacted everyone else the same at that point. So I was like, well, man, no matter what I do, if I became a doctor, I'm still gonna go back and insert myself into these communities, let these kids know you can do so much, man. You just gotta want to do it, you know, and expose yourself to different things. You can't stay what you think is your reality is truly not. I had to come out of that mindset, so my goal is to get a bunch of them out of that mindset. I know I ain't gonna be able to save everybody, but my goal is at least one. If I did one, that might be when I feel like I satisfied that feeling for me, and I've done what I wanted in life.
I'm going to use a quote that you used here. You said this, the day you were born and the day you figure out the reason why. That was powerful.
Oh, yeah.
That was powerful. Talk to me about that quote.
That's the two most important days of your life. You came here, God gave you the chance, opportunity at life. And then when you figure out your purpose and they're able to execute that purpose, and I think I'm living in mine right now, you know, providing health care to people who really need the access to it, and, you know, developing young men, exposing them to things, and being a coach and teacher for them, you know, a life teacher is how I see it. I don't just see it as a football coach. Really make me feel like I'm doing a thing. Yeah.
Got some questions in the comments for you. Brandon wants to know, what was your nickname while you were playing in Port Barry?
The Predator.
Predator.
The Predator. Yeah, I had the dreads. Wasn't afraid to hit nobody. And that's just how I rock. You know, as a cornerback, to have that many tackles and get the accolades I got, I'm pretty proud of. Even though it was 16 years ago now. Yeah.
Shout out if Coach Stevens is watching today.
Shout out to Coach Stevens.
Birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Coach Stevens, man.
I'm sure he's probably sitting back in the recliner watching a good interview right now.
Uh-huh.
And then your friend wants to know, how do you define and measure success as an OBGYN? Are there specific outcomes, patient feedback, or even personal goals you look at to track your growth?
I set personal goals for myself as far as surgery-wise. You know, I had attendings who I really look up to, who mentor me how to perform these difficult surgeries. I perform a lot of difficult surgeries. Yeah, I'm open and honest. But, you know, being able to work through those things and get the satisfaction for the patient, because they come to you with this problem and they're expecting you. You know, you're the doctor, you got to fix it. A lot of these things you can't really fix, and it's hard to tell that to the patient. But the ones I am able to give that relief to once those surgeries are performed and they follow up 2-6 weeks, and they say how everything is so much better for them, quality of life for them, I measure that as I've done my job. Getting babies safely delivered for moms, consenting them on different things if we notice issues and they understanding. You know, my biggest goal with my patients is developing a relationship. You know, I don't make the decisions, you make them. I just give you advice and what evidence tend to prove, and you make that decision and we share it together.
Another question here. How do you find good work-life balance as a doctor, especially with all the extra things that you do? And a follow-up to that, are you working all those extra shifts to get your wife that G-Wagon?
So, my first year, I kind of learned what I'm comfortable with, all right? What the patient load we can deal with. Shout out to my nurse, Hannah, who runs the clinic, basically, who came from a very busy clinic. We kind of figure out, all right, we thrive at this level right now while the volume increases. And then identify, all right, well, you know, I got to pick my daughter up at this time. Let's move the patients up. So you learn that. Once I got that down pat, it was easy to, all right, we could see all the patients real early, work through lunch, get to practice. You know, they can call me at any time. Once they call the clinic, 5 o'clock, it comes straight to my phone. If not, then I get them in by the next day. So what he's speaking on, the shifts that I do PRN out in Lafayette, it's usually like once a week. I treat it as 24-hour. In residency, we'll work these 24-hour calls, either Friday, Sunday, or Saturday. So I'll go to clinic. You know, I might not be able to go do the football events, go to work in Lafayette, and then I'm done. I did that because I feel like I'm reaching a part of the community that I don't get to touch every day, and I know they need some help over there. It's a shortage of doctors, so I'm trying to convince some of the kids.
Your mom says, I'm so proud of you, Spoonie. Mama loves you. Brighton Lede is in the chat.
That's my safety. Shout out to Brighton, man.
Says we appreciate you. Kirk says Coach T doing the Lord's work. Great guy.
Shout out to Kirk.
DeMarcus Williams, like another father.
That's another one of my players, man. Now, a few of the DBs, guys have a bright future, man. All they got to do is keep doing what they're doing. They're doing a lot more than what I did. I literally tell them all the time, you know, my high school career changed in 2 months. One summer is all it took. I wish I'd have done it every summer. But who wanted to go to workouts as a freshman and stuff? So, you know, I see the impact that does and what it can do for them going forward. And those kids are really locked in. I see them as little brothers, basically. You know, I don't think I'm at what they call onk level. I think I'm big bro. And to DeMarcus, like another father, if that's what it is, I'm doing my job, man. And, you know, a lot of them recognize it. You know, I think the most difficult part of the coaching is, you know, it's some guys you fight for behind the door, but they don't recognize it, you know, and, you know, that relationship is hard to establish when you're trying to coach them up. I would say that's the hardest part of coaching. But I don't let the kids know that. I just keep doing what I'm doing for them, regardless if they see it or not. And hopefully, you know, it turns and opens the door for them.
And I'll get to see these guys up close and personal for the Jamboree.
Yeah, I think we got Abbeville or something, I believe.
Thursday night?
Yeah, I believe so.
At Crowley High School?
I believe so.
Live on Under the Lights.
Oh, man, y'all coming.
We'll be there.
I'll get a nice little preview. Nice little preview.
Talk to me before we close this one out, and anybody else have any questions for Coach, leave them in the chat before we close this one out. Coach, I got one more for you. When did you learn about Under the Lights, and what was your initial thoughts back then and as we sit here today?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I remember when you first started it, you know, it wasn't as big as it is now. I was like, man, look at little Jordy. Because I want to say when I was probably junior, you was like our, the trainer or something on the team?
I got to high school in 2011.
Well, then, so, you were doing stuff for the football team, though. You weren't on the team, right?
I was Cross Springs.
Man, well, I feel like you was one of the water guys. Well, anyways, I knew who Lil Jordy was. I knew your older brothers from playing with my cousins.
Yeah, one of them played on the 02 team, one of them played on the 99 team.
Well, anyways, I saw you doing that. I was like, well, look, Lil Jordy, you know, got this broadcasting thing going on. Then it blows up. And I'm like, oh, this is like a big thing he's doing. And then this year really blew up, man. And I couldn't express how proud of you because, like I said, I know part of your situation, how you grew up and stuff, and to see you doing this, giving back to something, you really don't have to, you know. It just shows your love for the game. And like I said, a lot of people in different cities speak highly of what you got going in yourself, man. And to see all the love y'all get when y'all do go places is a big thing. So keep it up, man. Keep it up. We ain't had this. I don't think we had this when we played. So the kids love it because it creates exposure for them as well. And for the whole state, for y'all to cover that, it's a lot. I don't know how y'all do it. And y'all come here and talk about all the different teams every, Wednesday night? That's a lot, man. Oh, yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I can barely keep track of the kids on our team. Y'all can keep track of all these different teams. So
91 helmets behind you.
Man, that's crazy. But yeah, it's a big thing. Like I said, I hear so much positive things, man. You just keep going.
And if we think back right, because I think you watched the Wednesday night shows last year. I think I just kept picking y'all last year.
No. I don't think so, man. A couple of times I had to get in the comment, you know, because I have some bias in it. I
was the only one that would pick you out of 8 people.
I think you might have gave us Northwest, and we should have won that game, but we'll get that this year.
I said, I messaged you at night. I said, oh, yeah, Eunice is homecoming. I'm rolling with y'all.
Yeah, a few of them, man, we should have came out with, but I just know I in the comments a few times. I think Holden might have been the one always going against us, but yeah, this year y'all might want to put the hammer on us a few more times, man.
Put the helmet on.
Put the helmet on. I might stop by with the bruiser, the Bobcat head or something, man.
There you go. And you did say that you wanted to come be a guest one time this year.
Absolutely.
So for coming sit with us today, we do ask anybody that shows up and everything, or on the Wednesday night shows, or if we do interviews, we ask them to sign the sign and let them be a part of this history that we have going here.
Okay.
So at this time, if you would like to sign a sign, we can do it live on air.
Oh yeah, man.
lot of names.
A lot of names on
Have
that.
signed this sign. And going on year 7. So if you show the camera, it's a lot of signatures, Spoon.
A lot of signatures, bro.
And you could be the next. Next one.
It's fire.
Here we go.
Let me put mine on this white so they can see.
Coach Spoon, welcome to the board.
Yes, sir.
There you have
Appreciate
ladies
it,
and
man.
gentlemen.
Appreciate it. I'll be here for one of those Wednesday nights for sure. Long as Coach V don't put a JV game on us.
Coach, any final words before we close this one out? I appreciate you giving me some time to let everyone know about your story.
Absolutely, man. I just want to thank God for allowing us to be here to have this conversation. Big shout out to my wife again. Shout out to my mama, the fam, all the friends who support me, to you and your organization. Still Red Devil, but go Bobcats, you know. So a lot of love for both teams. We actually, part of that lick back, we got that this year. Started with the spring. So Port Barry kind of hung with us a little bit last spring, and we got the business this past one. So we're starting off early.
And what do we look forward to? We have Jamboree coming up, but we got spring game.
Yeah, we're going to have a fall game.
Fall game. I say spring game. Scrimmage.
Yeah. I want to say it's going to be Kaplan. That's who we fall scrimmage last year, but Coach VJ give me the updates. I don't make those decisions. I just show up. But looking forward to that. We looked pretty good last year with them. Looks out.
It's 2 physical teams.
Oh yeah, 2 hard running teams, man. That's probably like the difficult part, playing the run game in high school or trying to stop the run game in high school. It's real hard.
And you know where you're at early.
Yeah, you know, or what you need to work on early.
Go to Jamboree week, go to the Jamboree game, get some work in there.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 quarters, but it's quality time for special teams for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the big one.
The big one. Northwest up first.
Week 1, home opener.
Home opener. Northwest,
that place is going to be rocking or what?
It will be rocking, and I expect a lot of great things to come out of that game. It's going to be a good game. It was a great game last year.
I got the cover.
Just one misplay. And my player know who he is, you know, but we're working on a lot. But we got a lot of. I'm hyped up, man. The kids hyped up.
No bad weather this time.
I hope not. I don't like the bad weather games, man. It make the game plan change.
Those first 2 weeks were something else last year with the bad weather in week 1 and the hurricane in week 2.
Yeah, I don't like the rainy games, man, at all.
And then it rained in the Jamboree too.
But that was terrible. The Jamboree here for the parents, bruh. I ain't never been so wet in my life. Oh my God. No pause. But man, that was pretty bad, man. And they had no cover at Donald Gardner. I hope with the renovations they're doing, they put some kind of cover down there for people. But man, that was bad. That was bad. Fumble. I probably saw like 15 fumbles. That's the first time I ever saw that in my life.
Be here before we know it.
Be here before we know it, man.
The countdown to the season, ladies and gentlemen. You can catch this guy on the sidelines coaching the Eunice Bobcats this upcoming season. Coach,
Yes,
best
sir.
of luck.
Appreciate it.
Continued success in your career. Big fan of your work and many blessings
Yes, sir.
for you and your family and baby number 2.
Yes,
Be
sir.
here soon.
Appreciate it.
Coach, enjoy your summer.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for coming to take some time.
Go Bobcats.